headache, or something else? Or have you experimented with someone else's painkiller to get high? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you've misused or abused prescription drugs. And if you mix these medications with alcohol or other drugs, you increase your risk of addiction, overdose, and even death. You need to think twice before you take someone else's prescription meds, and never share your meds with others.
A message from the San Juan County Partnership, 505-566-5867. Friday morning here on KSJE, and you're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program. We're now being joined by two students from Shiprock High School to talk with me about a production that they are doing that will be on stage next weekend in Shiprock. So joining us now on the telephone is Lloyd Begay and Harley Prinster from Shiprock High School. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. How's it going over there?
Going great.
Okay.
Going great.
Tell me about this this production, this murder mystery show that you guys are doing, right? So what's that all about? Called Alibi, right?
Yes.
What's it all about? It's some kind of mystery. Do I have to figure it out? Is it audience participation?
Not necessarily. It's more of a watch kind of performance, but it's based on these characters all coming to a mansion for a party, so they think it's supposed to be a party, but in all reality, it turns into this little mystery clue.
Got it.
You have to figure it out too.
Okay, okay. And you both are in the play. Do you both have parts? Are you behind the scenes? Are you actors? What do you do?
Yes, I'm an actor. She's an actress.
Okay. So Lloyd, what's your part?
I play a character named Tanley. He's like a serious character, that Englishman.
Okay.
And I'm a French maid on the set.
Okay.
So everyone thinks.
Oh, interesting. Right? Is that what you're telling me? You're a mysterious character, maybe.
Yep.
Okay.
I got a very intriguing character.
I see. And how many other are there in the cast? You're not the only two, right? Is there a bigger cast than just two of you?
Yeah, I think we have around 14.
Okay.
Yeah, we switch in and out. It's been a nice process.
Gotcha.
Developing our characters together.
Sure, sure. And when did you start rehearsing for this? When did that all start getting put together?
2 months ago. We started about 2 months ago.
Okay. All right. Has it been fun?
Good progress.
And good progress. That's good. Has it been fun?
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's a nice experience to go through, especially coming from a small town.
Sure. Is this your first school production, or have you been involved with theater before, both of you?
I was involved last year.
Okay.
This is my first year doing drama.
And do you like it so far, Lloyd?
Yes, I do like it.
So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. So maybe as seniors next year, you guys will stay with it?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Okay.
It's my highlight of the year.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, very good. So again, the play is called Alibi, right? And it's this kind of mystery production. And it premieres next week on April 5th, right, at 6 o'clock?
5th on April 5th at 6 o'clock, and then on April 6th at 1 and 6.
So that's 3 performances, and so, okay. And,
yes.
And the rehearsals are going pretty good?
Great. Everything's coming along.
That's good. The sets look good?
Yeah,
Yes.
they do.
Okay. They're getting put together. Everything's peaking at the right time, huh?
Yep. We're slowly building this.
Slowly building up, like trying to remember their lines, but we're getting there.
Okay. Well, that's all part of the process, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very, very true. And you'll be on stage at the Performing Arts Center, right? The Phil Thomas Performing Arts Center there next to Shiprock High School.
Yes.
That's where it all takes place. And that's a really nice facility, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's been nice to have our classes there every morning.
I bet. Well, very good. Well, thank you both for joining me to talk a little bit about the play and about what you guys are doing over there in Shiprock. And we hope we'll get a lot of folks out there to see it. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. That is Lloyd Begay and Harley Prinster from Shiprock High School talking with me about their upcoming performance of Alibi, April 5th and 6th at the Phil L. Thomas Performing Arts Center in Shiprock.
Hello again. There's nothing like a live concert to bring out the best in musicians, largely because they know there's an audience a few feet away taking in every note and expressing their approval. We'll hear from Goodman, Ellington, Kenton, and several others as they perform on stage. Tune in and go swinging down the lane with David Miller.
Saturdays at 7 on KSJE Farmington. Friday morning here on KSJE, and you're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program, and it's time to touch base once again with Wally D, who's here with Wally D Sports to get us up to date on all the prep sports action that I missed last week because I wasn't even here. How are you?
You ran out on me.
I did. The most important week in high school basketball, right?
Yeah.
When we had the finals.
Finals, Kirtland went to the championship game.
They did.
And they ended up with second, but
Well,
a good showing for a very young team that's going to be there again next year.
So that's important, right? Because they now have that teamwork, and they can build on that for next season.
Definitely so. I think they're only going to be losing one senior, and Coach Manning played like the whole bench,
right?
Throughout
Give them
the
all
season.
Experience.
And so, yeah, they have great experience, so they're going to be a good, solid team next year, and so will Piedra Vista.
Okay.
They ended up losing in the semifinals, which we talked about, but they're a young team, only losing one senior, and they're going to be a good, solid team next year, too, when it comes around.
All right. Watch out, everybody. You heard it here first or second, maybe, but those are two of the teams to watch, that's for sure.
Definitely so. Now we're in baseball and softball season.
Right.
And, and of course our teams always do really good. Kind of the different change for Farmington this year, they play the Albuquerque schools, and which they've done pretty good so far.
Okay.
Right. Piedra Vista has been there. This is their third year playing against the Albuquerque schools, and in baseball, they're still ranked high. Softball, they're still ranked high.
Okay.
And they'll make a run at the state tournament. Of course, Farmington, the 4A defending state champs from last year, now in 5A. And they're ranked a little bit lower than Piedra Vista, which is, Piedra Vista has always been one of those top teams. But Piedra Vista ranked number 4 in 5A, and Farmington at number 7. So.
And the rankings, you probably have told me this before, but the rankings are composed by how do we get the rankings just from the games that they're playing, or other sports writers, or who?
Well, it's Max Preps is what I usually use.
Right.
There's a coaches poll too, but Max Preps does a power ranking, strength of schedule, and so forth.
They take that into account.
Yeah,
okay.
Everything's taken into account. I mean, even a team, if they play a team that, like, let's say they played Artesia, and Artesia played a team in Texas, I mean, that would go into the ranking somehow, right? It's all figured in somehow. I don't know how, because they have a national ranking also.
I see.
Which I believe Piedra Vista in the national ranking is like 404.
Okay.
Which is huge. I was going
to say, you probably have 3,000 schools in that national ranking.
Maybe even more.
Or more. So for 404, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So
okay.
So
keep an eye on them.
And then district starts for Piedra Vista, it starts on the 6th of April.
Okay.
Which they'll be playing a doubleheader against El Dorado. They'll travel to El Dorado. But then for Farmington, it starts with not whole day, which means they're playing Piedra Vista.
Right.
And that happens on the 13th of April.
Okay.
And of course it's at Ricketts Park, and what they do it's just a really big day because they bring in kids from the younger leagues, the summer leagues, and introduce them, and so it's just it's a big thing for those kids to come and be a part of the high school kids.
That's great.
Game.
Right.
And of course I'll be there broadcasting the second of the doubleheader later on in the afternoon. So
very good. As we say, on another station.
On another station.
But that's,
on the AGM Sports Radio Network.
That's how you can find it. So there you go. And I know you do a lot of stuff on your Facebook page too, with interviews with players and coaches.
I do.
From both basketball season and now in baseball and softball season.
Now baseball and softball, yeah, we're getting ready to do that. We'll be talking to the various coaches, and it's always good because the coaches are there to talk about their kids. That's what we want to hear about, and so that's what we always try to stay positive. I delete all the negative stuff on my Facebook page because it's a positive site for for our young athletes.
Sure, sportsmanship.
Exactly.
That's what we want to talk about. So, what about softball? We talked a little bit about baseball, right? So
yeah, we
did. Softball looks. How do they look?
Softball in 5A. Let me pull up the right ones. I got 4A too here. In
Oh, okay.
I was
Did I skip? Did I skip something?
That's
sorry.
all right. Softball in 5A, Piedra Vista always making a run. They're at number 5. Farmington's got their work cut out, moving up.
Right.
But they're in the number 14 spot right now. But, still a good chance in that position to make the playoffs.
Okay. And real quick, the ones I skipped over, I'm sorry. We're going back to baseball?
In Aztec, in 4A softball, Aztec is number 6, and Kirtland Central number 10. Aztec will make a good run towards the state. And then in 4A, that's
4A. Okay. All right. See, even you're confused too,
Yeah.
Wally. So I don't feel so bad. But thank you so much. It's always great to get on the same page and see what's coming. And so we'll watch for these teams because some of those games start next week. Those seasons.
They do. They start next week. We'll talk a little bit more about it next week, and it's going to be a fun season for softball and baseball.
I'm ready for baseball weather. That's for sure.
Well, it's here.
I know. That's true. Great, Wally. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you,
Wally D with Wally D Sports. He's with me on Fridays right here on KSJE Farmington. Have a great Friday, everyone, and a great weekend.